Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Business Points here on Global Television, your hub for topical discussions in the world of business. I am Queen Agaba. Today, we'll look at news making rounds in the world of business, where first of all, Nigeria is making significant progress in its efforts to exit the Financial Action Task Force (FATF) grey list, thanks to the robust crypto regulations and improved anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks. A country's Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, has announced that Nigeria is close to exiting the grey list by meeting 37 of 40 FATF recommendations. What are the key developments? The Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has been granted power to regulate digital assets, provide clarity on cryptocurrency trading and oversight. And also, Nigeria has moved from partially compliant to compliant and largely compliant in several FATF recommendations, demonstrating its commitment to international standards. And also, the country has strengthened its legal and regulatory framework to combat money laundering and terrorist financing. But there are experts who have shared their insights and their opinion. Emomotimi Agama, Director General of the SEC, believes that the new regulations will help Nigeria exit the grey list and foster trust in the digital asset space. Hafsat Bakari, who is the CEO of the NFIU, has emphasized the importance of effective collaboration among stakeholders to address financial crimes. Now, there are timelines. Nigeria aims to exit the FATF grey list by the end of 2025, with significant progress expected in the second quarter. The FATF has also acknowledged Nigeria's efforts, approving our country's fifth progress report and recognizing its high-level political commitment to ongoing reforms. What a way to begin. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, we'll look at other news like the African Reinsurance Corporation and the National Emergency Management Agency set to host a groundbreaking workshop on disaster risk financing and insurance in Nigeria after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The African Reinsurance Corporation and the National Emergency Management Agency is set to host a groundbreaking workshop on disaster risk financing in Nigeria. The workshop aims to address the growing need for disaster risk management and insurance solutions in the country. What are the objectives? One of it will be to explore innovative financing strategies for disaster risk management, and also to discuss insurance options for mitigating disaster risk and enhancing the capacity of stakeholders in disaster risk management and insurance. The key stakeholders are an international organization with expertise in reinsurance and risk management, that's Africa Re, and then NEMA, Nigeria's primary agency responsible for disaster management and response, and the insurance industry experts. Professionals from the insurance industry will share insights and best practices. There are questions around what are the expected outcomes? We look forward to seeing improved disaster risk management, that is enhanced capacity for disaster risk management and response, and also greater awareness and adoption of insurance solutions for disaster risks, and then strengthened economic resilience through effective disaster risk financing and insurance. It is also worthy to note that the exact location, dates of these workshops are not specified yet. Moving on, the Nigerian government has launched a training program for 120 young researchers in cancer studies and evidence-based implementation. The initiative is part of the Strengthening Institutional Capacity for Cancer Research and Implementation (SINCA) project aimed at developing sustainable institutional and human resources to address critical gaps in cancer research nationwide. The objectives of this initiative will be to equip young researchers with skills that will help improve cancer research and the outcomes in Nigeria, and to focus on prevention, screening, and tailored therapies for common cancers in the country, and also to enhance research capacity to develop genomic studies and health outcomes research and implementation sciences. And also, the structure of the program will be a one-year mentorship where participants will receive guidance and support for research grant implementation, and there will be a multidisciplinary approach where researchers from various fields, including basic science, medicine, laboratory science, and computational science, will be involved. And the expectations on hands-on experience where trainees will work on developing concept notes and research questions addressing national issues. The program aims to address Nigeria's shortage on oncology researchers and contributes to development of new cancer interventions by investing in research capacity building. The government hopes to improve cancer outcomes and reduce the burden of the disease in the country. A Nigerian national, Franklin Ikechukwu Nwadialo, is facing up to 20 years imprisonment for his alleged involvement in a $2.4 million romance scam targeting U.S. citizens. Nwadialo was arrested at a Texas airport on November 5th, 2024, and charged with 14 counts of wire fraud. Allegations and evidence: Nwadialo allegedly created fake profiles on dating sites like Match, Zoosk, and Christian Cafe, posing as a U.S. military officer deployed overseas. He built relationships with victims, manipulating them into transferring large sums of money for supposed emergencies such as hospital bills and funeral expenses. Investigators traced the funds to a cryptocurrency wallet linked to Nwadialo's real name, Nigerian passport, email address, and phone number. Now, this isn't an isolated incident. In August 2024, another Nigerian national, Bamidele Omotosho, was sentenced to 12 years in prison for swindling U.S. citizens out of $2 million through wire fraud, romance scams, and money laundering. Omotosho used stolen login credentials to hack into U.S.-based accounting firms and file fraudulent tax returns. The U.S. Department of Justice and FBI are taking a strong stance against these romance scams, which can devastate victims financially and emotionally. The U.S. Attorney Tess M. Gorman praised investigators for their work in tracking down Nwadialo, emphasizing the need for international collaboration to combat these types of crimes. We'll take another short break, and when we return, we'll look at Nigeria and Vietnam strengthening partnerships to boost trade and investment in the cashew sector. After the break, please stay with us. We'll be right back.
know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. Moving on, Nigeria and Vietnam are strengthening partnerships to boost trade and investment in the cashew sector, focusing on local processing and value addition. This collaboration aims to enhance Nigeria's cashew industry, which is currently one of the largest producers globally, yet processes only 10% of its total cashew units. The key objective will be to increase local processing, boosting Nigeria's cashew processing capacity, and also reducing reliance on raw material exports. And this partnership will leverage Vietnam's expertise in cashew processing to upgrade Nigeria's industry and to also improve access to global markets for Nigerian cashew products, and also create jobs and stimulate economic growth through value-added cashew production. The benefits for Nigeria is numerous, as higher earnings from value-added cashew products will be an increase, and also employment opportunities in processing, marketing, and related sectors. There will also be enhanced global competitiveness for Nigerian cashew products. But these updates are not without challenges, as one of the major challenges will be infrastructure, which is very challenging for such partnership, because inadequate infrastructure like roads and storage facilities can hinder the industry's growth, and also financing. Limited access to finance for local processors and farmers, and also the fluctuating global market prices, which affects industry's stability. Well, with all of this, we look forward to the outcomes and the possible benefits from this partnership between Nigeria and Vietnam as regards the cashew industry. Looking at the Nigerian stock market, which is showing signs of growth, with the all-share index rising by 0.15%, the uptick is largely attributed to gains in Fugas stocks, as well as notable performances by NSL Tech and Abi BDS. The Nigerian stock exchange has seen significant trading volumes, with 3.245 billion shares worth 69.198 billion naira traded in 77,270 deals. Investor sentiment remains cautious, with some stocks experiencing losses amidst market fluctuation. The all-share index concluded the trading day on April 8, 2025 on a positive note, rising by 159.89 points to reach a closing value of 104,376.73. Now, this represents a modest increase of 0.15% compared to the previous day's figure of 104,216.87, from which the index had declined as all Fuga stocks recorded gains. Now, the daily market volume also experienced a slight increase, rising from 444.1 million shares to 460.5 million shares up 3.71%. Market capitalization displayed resilience, growing from 65.4 trillion naira to 65.59 trillion naira across 14,528 transactions. At the forefront of the gainers table were NSL Tech and Abe BDS, which achieved impressive gains of 8.89% and 8.35% respectively. Conversely, UHO Merit and NACO faced setbacks, recording declines of 9.95% and 9.94% respectively. In terms of trading activities, Access Corp and GT Corp emerged as leaders, showcasing significant volumes in their transactions. For the market summary, current ASI was 104,376.73 and the previous ASI 104,216.87, while the day change recorded plus 0.15% and year-to-date performance plus 1.41%, while volume traded at 460.5 million shares and market capitalization 65.5 trillion naira. For top 5 gainers, we had NSL Tech with 8.89% to 0.49 naira, while Abe BDS recorded 8.35% to 5.58 naira, and we had Sterling of 6.85% to 5.58 naira, 5.15 naira, while VFD Group recorded 5.26% to 66 naira, while M Benefit from 4.55% to 0.92 naira. Well, our top 5 losers, UHO Merit recorded a minus 9.95% to 46.15 naira, and NACO a minus 9.94% to 62.95 naira, and NEM recorded minus 9.92% to 11.18 naira. And lastly, we had Lasaco record a minus 9.86% to 1.92 naira. For the trading volume, the daily market volume experienced a slight increase, rising from 444.1 million shares to 460.5 million shares, up 3.71%. Leading the trading activity was Access Corp with an impressive 56.4 million shares exchanged. We'll take a quick break, after which we'll look at a recap of our global business updates. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Looking at our stories, we told you Nigeria is making significant progress in its efforts to exit the Financial Action Task Force FATF grey list with the help of the robust crypto regulations and improved anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks. And we told you Nigeria's Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, has announced that it is close to exiting the grey list by meeting 37 of the 40 FATF recommendation. And that the key development is that the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has been granted power to regulate digital assets, providing clarity on cryptocurrency trading and oversight. And then the African Reinsurance Corporation, Africa Way, and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, is set to host a groundbreaking workshop on disaster risk financing and insurance in Nigeria, with the workshop aiming to address the growing need for disaster risk management and insurance solutions in the country, with key objectives in exploring innovative financing strategies for disaster risk management. And then the Nigerian government has launched a training program for 120 young researchers in cancer studies and evidence-based implementation, which the initiative is part of the Strengthening Institutional Capacity for Cancer Research and Implementation Project, SINCA, which is aimed at developing sustainable institutional and human resources to address critical gaps in cancer research nationwide. And then a Nigerian national, Franklin Ikechukwu Nwadiola, we said, is facing up to 20 years in prison for his alleged involvement in a $2.4 million scam targeting U.S. citizen. He was arrested at the Texas airport on November 5th, 2024, and charged with 14 counts of wire fraud. Well, that's how much we can bring to you today on Business Point. Don't forget to follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.